carry on, and this is how it goes. My goal is to make it simple for you to understand and to do such questions. Now, as usual, our main focus in the beginning should always be, our first step should always be to highlight keywords, and they are that there are brown and green beads in a box, of which the green beads were 40% of the total. Now, it is a good habit to change percentages into fractions because it makes it a lot easier to do. So 40%, if you calculate it, will become 40 out of 100, which then becomes 2/5. Okay, now for simplicity, I'm just going to write 2/5 now that you know how to get it. And the sentence now reads as, the green beads were 2/5 of the total number of beads. So again, with the word of here, then what comes after the word of is the denominator. So since the denominator is 5, then I will be pointing the number 5 to the total number of beads. And 2 would represent the number of green beads at first. Okay, so let's go on. And it says that after, so there is a before and an after, this is the change. It says that after some yellow beads were added, so take note, this is yellow, different from the brown and green, it's the third color. The number of green beads then becomes 26% of the total. So once again, 26%. If you want to, you should always simplify this into the simplest form. So 26 out of 100 is equals to 13 out of 50. My apologies, 13 out of 50. And again, for the purpose of annotation, so that you can see clearly, I will take this one away and write here 13 out of 50. So we read the sentence again. It now reads as the number of green beads is 1350 of the total. So now 50 again is the total, but do take note that this is a new total. It is different from the original total. And the second thing is that 13 now represents the green beads. Okay. Then the question becomes, what percentage of the beads are yellow? So that's the question. Let's highlight that as well. What percentage of the beads are yellow? Now, if you're wondering why I'm doing it this way, it is to teach you that whenever you see a question that says what percentage, then what you want to do is you want to multiply this by 100%. And then of the beads, that means the beads now becomes the denominator. Remember, whatever comes after of is the denominator. And yellow then is the numerator. Okay, so it goes like this. This is what we are trying to answer. So let's begin right from the first two sentences. To solve questions, you want to always start as soon as you can. Okay, don't take too long to think about it, solve it all in your head. It's a very bad habit. So let's begin. And 5 over here is the total number of beads. So I'm going to draw 5 to represent 5 boxes to represent the total number of beads. Okay, so this is the total number of beads, and we cut this into 5 parts. So 4 lines would cut that into 5 parts. And of these 5, 2 are the green beads. So I'm going to annotate that, show that in your diagram. Always do that. Otherwise, what's the point of drawing it, right? Okay, so here we have green. And of course, this means that the rest of it is brown. You got it. It's brown. Okay. So this is in the beginning. All right. This is how it starts. Now, some yellow beads were added, and as a result, the green beads became 13 out of 50 of the new total. Now, keep in mind that nothing changed the green. In other words, this question is under the heuristic skill of one unchanged item or one variable unchanged, as some people will call it. Okay, either way, let's go on. So we are going to draw a new model to represent the green after, even though it has not changed. But what does not change is the size of the green model. As you can see, it is still the same size. This green portion, however, now represents a total of 20, or rather 13 units, okay, or 13 boxes. So if this is 13, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, then and on top we have 2 boxes, then one of the skills to learn in modeling is that these 2 boxes should make this into 2 units. Okay, so this goes back to being 2 units. Just going to very quickly write that in there. So this represents 2 units. And likewise, since this is 13, then I'm going to write 13 in here. So this is now 13 units. Okay, at this point, you'll be asking me the question, if that's the case, if this is 2 and we had divided it by 2 to make 13, then shouldn't we just have kept it at 26? The answer is no. Okay, because you wouldn't know that right from the beginning. You will only know it after you start calculating. Okay, so as a habit, we should always just do the calculation in a fixed system so that we don't have to worry too much about calculations. Okay, let's go on. So we know that the total here is 50, and that means that if this is 13, I will need to make it into 50, and 50 minus 13 means that I will need to have another 37 more boxes. Okay, so I'm going to draw a model representing this 37 more boxes. And this model for the brown would still be the same because, again, the brown was not added. And this would represent the added yellow beads. Okay, let's highlight that so that we know what we are doing. So this is still brown, and this is yellow. Okay, and we now know that this represents a total of 37 boxes. Okay, we don't actually draw 37. We know that it's still 37 boxes. And since each box has a value of 2 units, then 37 boxes would be 37 times 2, giving you 74 units. Okay, now we do not know how to separate that 74 units yet, but no worry. Let's go up and look at this again. This will help us. So if this is 13 units, then all these are all 13 units. And now we know that if this is 13, 13, and 13, then we also know that this is 39 units. If this is 39 units and the total here is 74, then we know that this portion over here is 74 minus 39. So let's write all these things down. So 13 times 3 to get this portion would give us 39 units. We have 74 units here. So we take 74 minus 39. Oh, and this is to find yellow. So let's just write yellow. And of course, we can write here brown. Okay, so for yellow, it would be 74 minus 39 units, giving us 35 units. Okay, so now we know that yellow is 35 units. So we can answer the question. The question is, what percentage of the beads are yellow? So yellow is 35, and the beads is your denominator. It is not the old number, or rather the old total, it is the new total. And the new total is all this. And we know that this is made up of how many boxes? You recall? The answer is right here. So 50 is now my new total. And if that's the case, then 50 boxes would represent 50 times 2, 100 units. Okay, because one box is 2 units. So if my total is 100 units and my yellow is 35 units, then what percentage are yellow? So we come to the last step. And remember, I said that this is that question we need to answer. Yellow over beets times 100%. The yellow is 35. The beets is 100 units times 100%. So just to make it neater, I'm just going to write it here. So 35 out of 100. These two should be of the same unit type in this case, and then times 100%, which of course is going to give us 35%. And that is the answer to the question. All right. Look at this as many times as you need to understand it. And with that, I will see you in my other questions. Subscribe and join to learn more. See you. And good luck for the rest of the PSLE. Take care. Bye-bye.